Welcome to Miracle Network's Wednesday meditation. I'm so glad we're all here together. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button below to receive updates and notifications. Today we're joined by Lia Steinson, who will lead us in meditation. Then we have 20 minutes of silence, and after that we open it up for sharing. Over to you, Lia.
Good morning, everybody. It's really lovely to be back here. I'm so happy to be here with you again. I always really love doing this meditation and joining with you all. And I think I know just about everybody, but it doesn't matter anyway. It's lovely to be here. And today I'm going to be talking about gentleness. And you will probably all know that in the Manual for Teachers, one of the key characteristics of God's teachers is gentleness. And I know when I first came across that, it seemed a kind of surprise to me. What is gentleness doing in there? I thought of inspiration and passion and spirituality, kindness, vision, integrity, all kinds of things. But I didn't think about gentleness. And it took me a little while to really get really inside of why gentleness is so important. So that made me find this beautiful prayer. If I can just find it in a moment, because for a moment, I lost it. Um, and I just invite you to close your eyes while I read the prayer to you. Just take some deep breaths and bring yourself completely into the present moment and really think about that word, gentleness. As you breathe in and out, just say the word gentleness. I am gentleness. Dear God, source of all calm and quiet strength, help us to remember the still place within, the heart that knows peace before words, the spirit that moves softly through the world. Teach us the way of gentleness, not weakness, but the power that heals without forcing, the wisdom that listens before it speaks, the patience that allows life to unfold in its own time. May we touch the quiet center of our being, where kindness is born and compassion breathes freely. From that place, let our actions flow, steady, tender, and true. Let our words carry warmth and presence, bring ease, and our hearts remain open, even in the face of hurt. As we move through this day, may gentleness be our language, our offering, and our way home. Just rest there a moment. Again, just holding that word, gentleness. And as you focus on the word, as you breathe it in, you gently feel it expand in your being. Just see what feeling that brings. What is it like to focus for a moment or two on gentleness and know that's who we really are? Just gently open your eyes when you're ready. We'll continue that particular focus again in our actual meditation. This morning, I particularly wanted to think about gentleness towards ourselves. It's so often when we think of great spiritual qualities, we think of extending them out into the world and giving them to other people, expressing them. And that's wonderful. But in order to do that, we have to experience it first, don't we? If there's no gentleness in our being, we're not able to be gentle to others or gentle with the world. And so the most important starting place is that experience of gentleness towards ourselves. And with gentleness comes benevolence. What a beautiful word that is, benevolence. So as we become more gentle with ourselves, we become more kind, forgiving towards ourselves, more caring. We bring in tenderness and sweetness. Then it's as if, for me, we fill with that. And it naturally goes out into the world. You couldn't stop it, could you? I always think of the whole of the gifts of God as being coming through me like this, like through my crown chakra, down into my heart, out through my being, through my arms, through my words, through everything. But if I'm closed to being gentle and kind to myself, then there isn't anything in there to give. And conversely, if I have anger or bitterness or hatred or unkindness towards myself, that's going to express out into the world too, isn't it? So the experience of expanding the gentleness to ourselves seems very, very important to me. What we have inside of ourselves, we project into the world, don't we? That's where it comes from. And I think sometimes in our language we can be perhaps not aware enough. People say without any deep meaning, "Oh, I really hate that." Well, that hate is in us. And that will go out, even if it's just that little bit of hate. So I think it's really important to really be aware of our language and aware of the way we tend to judge and criticize ourselves. If we do, we will be extending that into the world. I'm just going to read you a few lines from the Manual for Teachers on Gentleness. I'm not going to read all of it because there isn't a lot of time for the reading, but a few selected pieces. And I'm going to use those when we go into our meditation too. You may want to listen with your eyes closed. Sometimes it goes in more deeply then, doesn't it? So this is the characteristic number 4, gentleness. Oh, and just one thing to say, because although this says manual for teachers, it's not suggesting that we think there's some teachers out there and the rest of us are just students. We are all students. We are all teachers. And we can't help teaching. If you never open your mouth, you are teaching all the time by the way that you hold yourself, the way you move around the world, the thoughts that you think, your attitudes, everything about how we are is always teaching something, isn't it? So we can't avoid teaching. So how wonderful to think of ourselves as teachers of God. And there's a question somewhere, who is a teacher of God? Well, anybody who wants to be. So just wanting to bring out into the world the beautiful teachings of God is a natural starting place for us all. So we are all teachers of God. So harm is impossible for God's teachers. They can neither harm nor be harmed. Harm is the outcome of judgment. It is the end of peace. God's teachers are wholly gentle. They need the strength of gentleness. To those who harm has no meaning, it is merely natural. Who would choose the weakness that must come from harm in place of the unfailing, all-encompassing, and limitless strength of gentleness? The might of God's teachers lies in their gentleness. Isn't that just wonderful? And I particularly love this sentence where we just a moment ago we say, the all-encompassing and limitless strength of gentleness. It's that wonderful thing to contemplate. That gentleness, instead of being, this soft kind of flippy-floppy thing, and weak in any way, it's not weak. It's the very opposite of weakness. To be able to choose gentleness. We need that spiritual strength within us to be able to meet everything that comes to us in our lives without reaction, with softness, receptivity, kindness, mindfulness. We then move to an appropriate response. So we go from reaction to response in our gentleness. And that last bit, the might of God's teachers lies in their gentleness. And think about that. The might that is within us. Yeah, and we are mighty companions, aren't we, on our way home together. So I think it's probably time that we need to be beginning to move into our actual meditation. I just got to check if there's anything else I wanted to say to you here. Oh yes, I wanted to highlight that if you go from in the Manual for Teachers straight from gentleness into the characteristic of joy, the first sentence is, Joy is the inevitable result of gentleness. Gentleness means that fear is now impossible, and what could come to interfere with joy? Now, isn't that wonderful too? Thinking of the consequence of experiencing gentleness is that we experience joy. And I think we also experience lots of other wonderful qualities like inspiration, like kindness, like tenderness, like patience, humility, sweetness. There's so many beautiful qualities are naturally associated with gentleness. And actually, what I found is whatever great spiritual quality we focus on, that a whole bunch of them comes with it. You're never going to be developing the blossoming of gentleness within you, or kindness, or integrity, or truth, or honor, without developing all the others that go with it. And that's the most wonderful thing for me. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. They will all grow within us as we just simply focus upon them. So the meditation will be focusing upon gentleness and then allowing other things to come to us as we meditate. And I'm going to read these little sentences I read just now to ease us into our meditation. So I'd like to ask you now to close your eyes. Let's spend a moment or two together, really coming into the present moment. It's so often that our minds are somewhere else. They're not in the moment where our body is. So concentrate for a moment on your breathing. Be aware of the in-breath and the out. Follow the passage of your breath in through your nostrils. Just noticing it goes up and then down into the lungs. Allow your lungs expand and then contract again as you breathe out. Just these simple awarenesses bring us out of our random thinking into our being, into our spirit. Wherever you're sitting and your feet on the ground. Hands just gently in your lap. Soften into your face. Relax into your eyes and your cheeks and your jaw. Just preparing ourselves to go deeper into our meditation. Remember that meditation is much more than being silent. It's much more than having silence around us. It's gradually entering into a silence in the mind. Where the mind is a vast open space of light and is receptive to the guidance of the Holy Spirit. So we can hear from deep within, not with the body's ears. To just feel yourself with every breath softening, expanding, opening and resting. And remember that word, gentle. Gentle. I am gentle. I'm just going to read some of the words again for us to focus on as we go into a deeper meditation. Who would choose the weakness that must come from harm in place of the unfailing, all-encompassing, and limitless strength of gentleness? The might of God's teachers lies in their gentleness. The might of God's teachers, of us, of this one beautiful spirit is here together. Light, God's teacher, in our gentleness. Just keep the consciousness on your breathing. I am gentleness. You might be able to visualize receiving divine gentleness, receiving from God His gentleness. It's not ours, is it? God's gentleness coming into our being. It's coming as light. Can you see the light coming into your being? God's gentleness coming into us. And all unrelated thoughts just passing by, not relevant. Gentleness filling our being. The awareness of the body is drifting away, not relevant. Just an illusion, just a dream. And let the light expand. The soft, sweet, gentle light that fills us and guides us. Feel the light of gentleness becoming so great within you, within us. It shines out into the world. The gift of gentleness being received and given as one act. Receiving and giving gentleness. You might visualize that gentleness spreading out across the world, touching all hearts equally. Gentleness. You might like to use for the focus of your meditation, of our meditation. I am gentleness. I am gentleness. If you fit it with your breathing, you can say I am gentleness as you breathe in and again as you breathe out. If your mind wanders, just gently call it back with a deep breath. Come back. I am gentleness. I will gently call you back with my voice at the end of the meditation. And now gently beginning to come back. Just take your time. Don't rush to open your eyes. Just take a gentle process. Feeling yourself back here. It's beginning to move a little bit. I always find it helpful to take a big stretch, deep breath. Oh, and gradually open your eyes when you're ready. Just take a look around. I always think of it as a room. Just take a little look around. Here it is again, these beautiful people that we're together with. And feel yourself back again in this moment now. Thank you.
If you'd like to share, raise your hand and I'll invite you to take yourself off mute. Jan.
Hi, everyone. Hello, Lia. Lovely to see you. That was so beautiful. It was so deep. It was so gentle. It was so gentle. And it was a wonderful illustration of the power of gentleness, actually, because it was so quiet and it reminds me in the sort of when I look out in the world and with my ego mind and look at people who I assess to be gentle, there's a real strength there. It isn't a sort of it isn't a submissive sort of thing. It's very powerful. So thank you for reiterating all of that. It was very, very lovely. Yeah.
Good. I'm really pleased. I do think gentleness is the most wonderful quality. And I that the gentler that I am in myself, the quieter I am. I speak more slowly. Right? I'm more available to others. I'm more able to see other people. Lots of wonderful things happen, and there is a feeling, isn't there? It isn't just a concept in your head. There's a feeling that goes with it. Did everybody? You just let me know if you felt that there was a feeling went with gentleness. Oh, nice, isn't it? It's good to feel gentle, and really important, I think, to remember the difference between being gentle is a true quality that emanates from within, from God. And when we're being, weak or, holding back because we're really shy or scared or that kind of feeling, that isn't gentleness. That's something quite different. Gentleness is really needed there, isn't it? But it isn't ever weak to be genuinely gentle. It takes real presence and real inner strength, doesn't it? Thank you.
Thanks.
Who would like to share? Evelyn, take yourself off mute.
Thank you, thank you, Dan, and thank you, Lia. That was lovely. As Jan was saying, so much strength and peace comes with it, and all the other qualities that you mentioned. So many other lovely qualities all come like God's army, as it were, and everything is contained in the one, which of course it is, and we are. And so I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that it is so powerful. And it was beautifully put the way you put it. So thank you very much indeed. It's a wonderful reminder. And I shall certainly be reading through that again, because I don't often go to that part of the course. But it's good to be reminded. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And all the qualities, I call
Yeah.
them qualities, they call characteristics,
Yeah.
are all just delightful and
Yeah.
can really see that if you really focus on the blossoming of all those characteristics within us, well, we're well on our way to really experiencing salvation because, they are so full and wonderful and expansive within us. So, if you never did anything else but worked your way through the manual for teachers, I think it would be a wonderful journey. Thank you,
Yes.
Evelyn.
Thank you, Leah.
Who would like to share? Hugh, take yourself off mute.
Hi. Thank you, Leah. That was really wonderful. When I went into the meditation, I had an image of my inner child as a baby, just an image of gentleness and defenselessness inside me. It really put me in touch with feelings of caring and nurturing and really very deep. Thank
Oh,
you.
lovely, Hugh. Thank you. What a beautiful image. That little baby, the natural gentleness there, and the importance, I think, for the baby, the child, and all of us to be able to experience a sense of safety. Safety is, I think, quite an important issue. And we're never going to be safe in our bodies, are we? It's not that kind of safety. But that sense of safety is being held like a baby in the loving arms of God, if God has arms. This is a metaphor, isn't it? But that feeling of being held in love is so beautiful, isn't it? And the more we meditate on things like this and become aware of the importance of gentleness and the kindness, the tenderness that particularly go with it, the more we feel safe inside of us. So really recognize that. Yeah, that gentleness brings a sense of safety. That's lovely, you. Thank you. Thank you for highlighting that.
Thank you.
Vivian, take yourself off mute.
Is that done?
Yes, good one.
Yeah, good. Actually, I was just thinking, I'm always surprised how lovely it is when we have these mornings of meditation, that as soon as we're all together and start being quiet, I am aware of my spirit lightening and joining with you others. It's just, how can this happen? We're on a screen, but actually I'm aware of bonding with this group. And then you started talking about gentleness, and I thought, do you know what? That was a really peaceful, loving, gentle communication with you all. So I tied that up, that gentleness. This is just lovely, and it is gentle. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Vivian. Yes, beautiful.
Linda, take yourself off mute.
Yes, when I went into the meditation, it was a feeling that emanates completely into everything. And at the moment, in where we are now in England, the trees are beautiful and they're gentle. The gentleness touches everything. It's a feeling and it expands. That's how I'm feeling it now. So I just wanted to share that it's a feeling that embraces everything. So, yeah, thank you for bringing that out in me. Thank you.
Beautiful, Linda. Thank you. Yes, and isn't it nice the way you can look around you more when you're busy being judgmental or critical or complaining or stamping on with your life? You don't see anything, do you? The head drops down. And so often we see people walking down the street and they're not looking out at anything. They're looking down, and their head, and it's their heads first, and it's their thinking is first. There's no feeling in there of gentleness. And I think when you are aware of being gentle, it's as if you sort of rise up a bit and you look around you and you develop also gratitude. Yeah, that beautiful gratitude for, I know the words that the world is an illusion, but when we're looking out, if we are really, really working and evolving spiritually, we see more and more a beautiful world, don't we? See more and more, uh, a happy dream. It's still a dream, but the beauty seems to expand in our lives. Right? So, and gentleness really contributes to that because it slows everything down. It opens us up. It takes us into the present. And we just look out and it's like, oh my goodness, isn't there so much beauty and wonder here? In people, in trees, and flowers, and things, and even sometimes in streets, you can see the beauty. And I think, if you are looking down because you're busy, your head's taking you where you're going, and you stop looking down and you look up, everything changes immediately. It's slower, more peaceful, more gentle, more kind, and even the grey sky is still have beauty and gentleness in it.
Yeah, last night I was walking, well, a couple of times when I've walked up the stairs, I found a spider. It was quite big, well, medium-sized, on my wall. Well, I love spider. Well, I love everything, right? Every living being. So after it was still in the same place. So last night, and it was just getting dark, I thought, it's not moved. I blew it and it moved. So I knew it was alive. So I picked it up and put it in my hand and I'm talking to it. So this is what I do. I'm going to take you somewhere that is safer. You are beautiful. I love you. And I took it up the garden and put it in my shed. So I thought there'd be more spiders up there. But it's that gentleness, the whole gentleness in my hand. I love spiders, but I love everything, really. But it was so gentle in my hand. So that's reminded me of gentleness, yeah. And I was talking to it.
Yeah, I love it. Just thinking, if we just could take a moment to focus for a second or two on forgiving ourselves. And it seems like we're going to a different subject, but we're not. I'm so aware, and I'm sure you are, that gentleness isn't possible if we're in the grip of judgment, is it? And in fact, I read something from that in this piece on gentleness. If you are judging yourself, could you possibly be simultaneously being gentle? You couldn't, could you? There's a complete, they're opposites. The judgment is ego and the gentleness is spirit. Or you could say the judgment is fear and the gentleness is love. So we know they can't coexist. And I think it's really important to, whenever we can, come back to just forgiving ourselves. Sometimes we don't even have to say for what. Does it matter? Sometimes we don't even have to forgive ourselves. We can just do I forgive. And that's that expansion of forgiveness that just extends from us to everything. But I think in this case, because we're working on being gentle in ourselves, let's just close our eyes a minute, shall we, and just remind ourselves that in the choice for gentleness, there is also, and before it, and during it, the choice for forgiveness of ourselves. So I just invite you to say, I forgive myself. Completely and absolutely forgive myself, primarily for all the self-judgment that I've got into. It's not really about forgiving myself for what I've done or said. They were just mistakes. But I forgive myself for my judgment of myself, for criticizing myself, for being unkind to myself. I recognize that my love of people, of the one being that we are, comes through me and it's blocked if I judge myself. I release my judgment, give it up. I don't need judgment of any sort. Forgive myself for my judgment of myself. I forgive myself. And as I forgive myself, so the gentleness within me shines its light into the world. Amen.
Amen. Okay, we've come to the end of our time together. Thank you, Lia. That was wonderful. And I got so much out of it. Really appreciate it. And take yourself off mute and express your appreciation to Lia.
Thank you, Lia.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
It
everyone.
was beautiful.
Thank you, everyone. Love you.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you,
Lovely.
Miracle Network.
Thank you.